Hey Quilt Nation, Quilting Marine here. We're here to do a video on something that I found while doing the secret sew, the flange bind. Okay, I thought it was so great that one of our family members sent in a quilt with the flange bind, and I saw it and I was like, oh wow, it blew me away. So I had to learn it. So I learned it. Now it's time to teach it. So this is what we're talking about, the flange bind for you new quilters. And this video is specifically for my new quilters. Okay. The flange bind. All right, so this would be your bind, and on the bind is this little flange. All right, that is so, I don't know, I saw that and I was like, okay, we got to do that. All right, so for our operation Love Shouldn't Hurt, we have two colors on the bind. Black will be for those who lost all during domestic violence, and red for the blood that's unnecessarily spilled for domestic violence. So let's work on it. So what we're going to do is, okay, so usually on the flange bind, people do a 1.5 inch cut and a 1 3/4 inch cut, okay? So the smaller of the cuts would be the outside, okay? And then the larger of the cut would be what folds around to make the flange, all right? But on this particular one, because that's a little small, all right? And I'm a guy. I don't do dainty. All right. We're gonna do a beefier, saucier, larger size flange. Okay. So we're gonna go with our first cut it'll be 1 1/4. Okay. And then our second cut will be 1 3/4. All right. Because guys, we like beefy, large. All right. We are bigger, and we like larger. All right. Like a Big Mac or a Whopper or something like that. All right, so let's move on. All right, so we're gonna do our first cut. We're gonna do our black, okay? Why are you zooming in? All right, so here we go. All right, so we're just gonna do the cuts here on my Arteza self-healing mat. So let's cut, all right, 1 1/4. So I have 1 1/4, all right? 1 1/4. Just making sure it's the same down here. There we go. All right, 1 1/4. All right. Although it's the outside color, it will be the smaller of the cuts. All right. Just so you can explain it, because I saw a lot of videos where they're not explaining it. So it took a couple of runs. I'm like doing it backwards, and I had the wrong colors facing the wrong direction. I had no idea where I was going. All right, but I'm more worried about my new quilters. New quilters are trying this for the first time. You don't want to be wasting a lot of fabric, okay? So the shorter of the two is the outside of the colors, all right? So let's make our cut. There we go. One 1/4 here. Let's get that black out of there. All right, and then with the red, we're going to do 1 3/4. All right. So on here, that's my 1. My 1 is right there, and 1 3/4. Okay. Set my little Arteza ruler down here. 1 3/4. Just make sure we got 1 3/4 down here. We're going to make our cut. Okay, let's move that out. Have that fabric folded, okay? Okay, so this is what you're gonna do so that you know, so you can make sure that you're right all the time, all right? I had a pre-cut one already, so what I'm gonna do is, what you wanna do is you wanna make sure, you wanna put the edges together, all right? So, but you want right sides facing, okay? Right sides facing. We're just gonna put that down, all on the same edge there. All right, look at that beefy flange that's going to come out, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to take it to the machine, all right? And we're going to put a 1/4 inch seam, right sides facing, remember, 1/4 inch seam right down the edge right here, okay? Let's go to the machine and do that. All right, we're going to try to do this while Gunner lays right here on the floor, okay? All right, so you new quilters to include me, pinning might help out, all right? You want to keep this edge true, all right? You want it to be good. You want this edge to be a good edge. That's why your cuts are important on this one, all right? You kind of can't go with the no rules thing on this one because you want your flange to come out really nice, all right? But for the sake of making a video, we're just going to rock and roll with this. It's only fabric, it's only thread. Okay, see my 1/4 inch? That's my 1/4 inch measurement right there. So if I'm putting my fabric there on that 1/4 inch line, and I keep it nice and steady, I will have a perfect 1/4 inch seam running right along that edge, okay? All right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make this seam here. All right, now that gunner has moved, let me step in. So you want to kind of take this one slow because you want that edge to be true, okay? You want a nice 1/4 inch seam because it's going to be very important later when you fold the bind. Okay, every now and then you'll have to adjust. For my new quilters though, guys, you should pin, all right? I am not showing off here. We're just trying to make a video go a little bit faster, okay? All right, so I'm just making little adjustments to make sure that this edge is true. All right, just want to make sure we get through this as painless as possible. All right, so just keeping it even. All right, on my brother PQ 1500 SL that I love very much. But I wouldn't mind trying a Juki since I have no allegiance. All right, so here we go. Now, look at that. We got our seam down. And all you're gonna do is really, all right, so a lot of people say finger press it open. Hey, let's just take it over to the iron, okay? We're gonna skip through all that because I have new quilters that need to learn. All right, so remember guys, you always wanna iron to the dark side, right? So we're gonna iron this open to the dark side. Push this open, all right? So what I do is I press the seam first. Let's press the seam here. Okay, now we got the seam pressed. Let's open it up. Now let's push that thing open. All right, we want the dark to go to the dark, all right? Let's push that open. All right, getting that open there. Push and push. Now that it's open, all right, we got it pushed open, pressed open. Now we're gonna fold it, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it over, bring this edge to the black edge, all right? And we're gonna press it again, all right? But what you wanna do is you wanna pay attention to the edge. You want those edges to be aligned together, all right? You don't want this, all right? You don't want this to be over, okay? You want it to be right together, all right? And that's important. We're going to press that down, okay? All right, so I just go right along the edge there, and I make sure that it's aligned and on the edge there, okay? Take your time, okay? It's not a race, it never is, all right? Just going to press right along there. Every now and then, just going to have to move down here because my iron cord is not going to reach that far. Let's go ahead and put that down. There we go. All right, so new quilters, pay attention to this right here, all right? Get that edge down, all right? Nice and even. Okay, that's close enough for government work. What do you think? Okay, let's flip it over and see what we have here. Look at that. That's pretty sick, huh? Okay, so what we're gonna do is, we're gonna put this, all right, so I have a sample piece of a block that I have left over from Daisy Cutter Quilt. Okay, so this is what we wanna work with, all right? It's a little beefier to me, all right? Now, ladies, you can go ahead and go with the dainty. Guys, don't do dainty. Guys, do beefy. All right, so let's put this on our sample block here. Okay, so this is our sample block. This is a block I had left over from Daisy Cutter quilt. So just for instructional purposes, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bind on here so you can see what it looks like, all right? So remember the inside of the quilt, right? So what we want to do is we're going to put the dark side down, all right? Because remember, once we put our 1/4 inch, we got to roll this over, right? All right, so we're going to put the dark side down, all right? Big red or the big cut should be facing up, all right? And then we're just going to put a 1/4 inch seam on. All right, let's go ahead and take it to the machine. I'm going to put a 1/4 inch seam on here. All right? Same thing, 1/4 inch, okay? All right, no rushing. All right, so let's start. All right, so let's start. I'm going to put a couple stitches down, we'll backstitch. All right, let's backstitch here a couple stitches. All right, same thing, guys. All right, 1/4 inch seam, no rushing, no speeding. All right, new quilters, pay attention. All right, so here you would pin. All right, new quilters, pay attention to your pinning. I'm here for you though. That's what I do this. All right, so we're gonna go through this intersection. Guys who've watched the channel know what an intersection is. Just gonna roll through this red light right here for the purposes of the instruction. Okay. All right, so that's really all I need because I want to show you what it looks like, okay? All right. Okay, so let's come back to the table here. All right, so now that we've put the bind on, what we're going to do is we're going to roll it over, right? Just like this, okay? See where we're at? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the machine, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin right here because I want you to see what's going to happen here. So what I'm going to do is pin. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go in the machine and we're going to stitch in the ditch, okay? We're going to stitch right in the ditch right there, okay? Right along there. That's where we want to go, okay? So let's take a look at how that's going to come out. All right, so this is a sample because usually you would be all the way up top here for me, okay? For my experts out there in the quilting police. Okay, let's, I'm going to go right in the ditch there. Okay, and that's it. That's really all we're going to do. I'm just going to go right down the ditch there. Pull this pin out. Just go right down the ditch there. Pull up to the pin. I'll pull that out. And just a sample, okay? This is what we're going to want to be seeing for our new operation that we have going on here. Let's go ahead and just finish that out there. All right, and we do corners the same. Corners are done the same way as before. All right. See that? That's what we want. That's awesome. I like the flange bind. Okay, who we're working with. All right, and this is what the back side would look like. But you know, this would be the back of your quilt, and this stitch line would usually be, should be, you know, in line with this stitch right here. Okay, but that goes without saying. Look at that. I love that. All right, so now that we've done the flange bind, these are the two colors that we're going to be working with for Operation Love Shouldn't Hurt. And I just want to make sure that those of you out there who are going to be putting our quilts together know that this is what we're going to want to see. All right, remember, these two colors are very important because black is for those who've lost their lives due to domestic violence, and the red is for the blood that's unnecessarily spilt in domestic violence. Thank you for watching. Thank you for picking this video. Please subscribe, and remember, it's only fabric and it's only thread.